I dare you to try something, an old street vendor's money trick. And I warn you, it's going to expose the real reason you're broke.
You know, if you're one of those people who works hard, really hard, but you still feel broke, this story might hit a little too close to home. Because the problem, it isn't your work ethic. It's not about your skills or even just some bad luck. The problem is something you can't see. We're always taught that being broke is just about not having enough cash, right? But what if? What if the real reason you're stuck comes down to your relationship with money itself?
So let me tell you a story. It's about a man named Elyan Marvek. Now, Elyan, he was not lazy, not at all. This was a guy who woke up before the sun, worked until his bones literally ached, and every night he'd collapse, just thinking he'd earn something better from life. But he was still poor. See, some people are broke because they don't do anything. Elyan was broke because he did everything. He was just doing it from the wrong place, inside. To Elyan, money wasn't a tool. It was a tormentor, an enemy he had to chase down, beg, and then fight just to keep it around. And one night, he's sitting there, all alone, holding his very last dollar, his last note, and he just whispers to it.
Yeah, he was speaking to the money, asking it, "Why do you always leave me?" And that question, doesn't it just capture that deep frustration so many of us feel? That feeling of being left behind by the very thing we're working so hard to get?
Everything changed for him one night. He was just buying a cheap meal from an old street vendor, and this vendor, he just watches Emilion count out his coins. And you notice something. Emilion wasn't counting them with care. He was counting them with this sadness, like he was counting up all his failures. And then the vendor said something that just stopped Emilion in his tracks.
And Elyan, he just kind of scoffs and says, well, money offends everyone who doesn't have enough of it. But the vendor, he just gives this little smile, and he shares a piece of wisdom that would completely change Elyan's world.
You see, the vendor explained that money, it pushes away people who fear it, or worship it, or blame it for all their problems. But it stays with those who respect it. And for Elyan, this was just a completely new idea. He'd never ever thought about it that way. He didn't respect money, he resented it.
So then the vendor does something strange. He hands Elyan this small, empty notebook and gives him one very uncomfortable instruction. He says, write down everything money makes you feel. Every single thought, every fear, every belief. Don't stop writing until you see the truth.
Now, at first, Elyan felt ridiculous doing it. But he started writing, and then the raw truth just started to pour out of him. The very first thing he admitted to himself was what you see here.
But he didn't stop there. He kept the pen moving, just digging deeper and deeper, and then another truth bubbled up. This one was even harder to admit.
And this next one, wow, this one really shows the trap he was in, doesn't it? It's this painful paradox that just kept him stuck in that cycle of lack, no matter what he did. But it was the last thing he wrote, the final sentence, that just shattered everything. This was the key that unlocked it all. And with that, he finally realized he didn't trust himself. And in that moment, he understood money doesn't stick around for people who don't trust themselves to handle it right.
And just like that, Elyan finally got it. He understood that poverty isn't just about what's in your wallet, it's a state of mind. And that wealth, real wealth, it begins the second you stop treating money like it's your enemy. He learned that money is just a mirror. It just reflects who you are, not what you have. And this whole realization was built on 4 simple but really powerful truths.
All right, let's go through them. The first truth is that money stays where it feels respected. The second, money grows where you give it a purpose. Number 3 is so important. Money comes to those who manage it, not just people who daydream about it. And finally, the fourth truth, money responds to your emotions. Fear pushes it away, gratitude pulls it in. So now, it's your turn. I want you to try the exact same exercise that changed everything for Elyan. This is your 60-second challenge. When we're done here, grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. And for just 1 minute, I want you to write down every raw, honest emotion you feel about money. Don't censor yourself, don't run from it, and then when you're done, ask yourself this one question.
Seriously, ask yourself this. If money could talk, what would it say about the way you treat it? Would it say you handle it with care, with respect, or would it say you just cling to it with fear and desperation?
Really think about it. Do you hold it with a sense of gratitude, thankful for what it helps you do? Or do you chase after it with this frantic, desperate energy, like you're sure it's about to run away?
Have you actually created a relationship, an environment in your life that money would want to be a part of?
Because here's the bottom line, the absolute truth of it all. If you change your relationship with money, your life will not stay the same.